Hi guys, this is George back here with another vlog, and today I am here at Chessington World of Adventures for my first visit of the 2025 season. Looking forward to going around the park, seeing all the updates, lots of construction going on in the park, and also get back on some of the rides as well. I'm going to start off here at Dragon's Fury because it's currently on quite a small queue. I've literally just come in through the entrance right next to Dragon's Fury. It's just gone park opening, just gone 10 o'clock, and the park's open till 5 today. However, I might need to leave a little bit earlier today, unfortunately, but hopefully I'll be able to get everything done, because as I'll talk about throughout the vlog, there are quite a few rides closed due to construction going on around the park, but there is a lot to see today. But I'm going to start off by getting on this Mara spinning coaster. So I've just had a ride on Dragon's Fury, 21 years old this year, and it's still running fantastic. I absolutely love the ride. It's probably still my favourite ride here at Chessington. I did used to prefer Mandrill Mayhem, but now it's starting to get a bit rough. I do really like Dragon's Fury, but I'm going to go for a ride on Mandrill Mayhem now and see how it's running. But yeah, I do love Dragon's Fury. Got a good spin round on there, some nice restraints on there. It's a good long ride. It's got a great layout on there, interacting with the play area. You can get some great views of it. It is a fantastic ride that I do really enjoy. It is pretty unreliable, however, it is a great fun ride. World of Jumanji is looking fantastic. Now it's a couple of years older and all of the trees are starting to grow. Of course, you can come over here right into the middle of the area. There goes Mandrill Mayhem. Of course, you've got the single rider queue for this one as well. I absolutely love this area. It's one of my favourite themed areas in the UK. It was done to a really high standard. Go for a ride on Mandrill Mayhem. Hopefully it's running a bit smoother this year. Apparently some people have been saying it's a bit smoother. However, I'm gonna go for a ride and then see. I don't think it will be though. So it's only advertised a 5-minute queue, so I thought I'd come into the main queue because then I've got more of a chance of being able to choose my own row. So here we go. Yeah, I haven't been in this queue line for a while because normally I go in the single rider. But yeah, this is looking really good in here with all the trees around here that are starting to grow a lot more now. And of course you come right underneath the Jaguar Shrine right here. I love how what they did with this area when they built it was mixing all three of the Jumanji movies all together. Of course you've got the Jaguar Shrine from the Welcome to the Jungle, the first one where it was a video game. Then you've got the mandrills, which are from the second one. And then you've also got little Easter eggs to the original one as well, where it was the board game. Let's go for a ride on Mandrill Mayhem. It's literally walk on. Hello, so I've just come off Mandrill Mayhem. They saw me vlogging in the queue, so they wanted a shout out to be in the vlog. Yeah. Hello, did you like Mandrill Mayhem? Yeah. There we go. Really right, let's go to the next ride.
Yeah, thank you.
So there we go, I've just had a ride on Mandrill Mayhem, literally walked straight onto it, which was fantastic. And in terms of how it was running, I was on a wing seat, so of course it does tend to get rougher on the wing seat. However, it wasn't too bad. I mean, sometimes you could go on there and it's smoother than other times. I mean, I've had rides on there before where I've literally come off with a headache. But then that that wasn't too bad. That's not to say it was smooth. It's definitely not smoother than it was before. It's still rough, it's still bouncy, and I do worry about how it's going to be running in a few years. This coaster isn't even 2 years old, and for it to have a bounce like that is a little bit worrying. But it's still a great fun ride. Considering it was a wing seat, it wasn't too bad. It can be worse on other seats, however, it is a fun ride. I do really like the layout of it because it's really unique, it's very different. It's a shuttle coaster, multiple launches on there, a wing coaster going up the spiral helix around the Jaguar Shrine. It's a really fun ride. However, yeah, I do just wish it was a bit smoother. Of course, a few days ago, a new B&M wing coaster opened at King's Dominion called Rap Terror, and that looks like it's been having some really good reviews. Some people have been saying it's pretty smooth, however some people have been saying it's really rough. Like I saw a tweet on Twitter, someone said I queued 3 hours for Rapterra just for a headache. So some people seem like they found it rougher than others. I have been hearing really good reviews from Rapterra most of the time, however some people have said it's a bit bouncy, but I don't know what it is with new B&M coasters that seem to have a bit of a rattle. Of course, some of the coasters that opened last year, you look at like Iron Menace at Dawley Park, that has a rattle on it. Phoenix Rising as well, that I've heard a lot about the rattle on that. Apparently it really wrecks the ride experience for that one. Penguin Trek apparently has a little bit of a rattle, so hopefully that's something B&M can sort out, because it is a bit concerning. They used to be like the top manufacturer and now they're really falling off. So now I'm going to go into the Gloomy Wood to go for a ride on Vampire. So this is a very special year for Vampire because it's turning 35 years old. This is an Arrow suspended coaster and it opened in 1980. So let's go for a ride on this. It's not one of my favourite rides, however, it's his big birthday year this year, 35 years old. So I'm going to go for a ride, and I believe there's some new theming to look at in the queue as well. And for Vampire's 35th birthday as well, the park have launched some new VIP experiences. So you can either do a behind the scenes tour, which I believe is on the 11th of April, of the whole ride. You go around the ride and do a big behind the scenes tour of it, and then also on the 12th of April, I think it is, you've got a lunch with the designer of the ride, John Wardley. Also, you'll get to meet John Wardley on the behind the scenes tour as well. So you get a big behind the scenes tour and then you meet John Wardley, and then of course you've got the lunch with him the next day as well. You get like a buffet lunch, and there's a Q&A session with him, which is pretty cool. They are very expensive, so I'm not going to be doing that. And considering this isn't one of my favourite rides, I'm definitely not going to be forking over that amount of money for this. However, it is nice that the park are introducing some new experiences for the ride's birthday. Here we go, there's lots of new stuff to look at in the queue line. You've got this big dining table set up there. There we go, look at this. Lots of new theming put out for the ride's birthday. There it goes, through the trees. It's an iconic ride, this. I am still hoping for it to get retracked at some point. Maybe for its 40th birthday, it'll get retracked, because it is a bit janky. But yeah, let's go for a ride. There's not many of these Arrow suspended coasters left now. Of course, this one hasn't got the original trains. This one's got newer trains from Vekoma that were added in 2001, I believe. Yeah, I have ridden a couple with the original trains. I've ridden the one at Six Flags Magic Mountain, which was fantastic. And then I've ridden the one at Cedar Point as well, which wasn't quite so good. Let's go for a ride on Vampire. So I've just had a ride on Vampire, and that was quite good, to be honest. I feel like I'm starting to enjoy that ride a lot more than I used to. The first time I went on it, I thought it was alright, even though it was still a bit rough. Then my love for it kind of started to decline, but now I feel like I'm starting to like it a lot more. It's all about kind of being prepared for all the jolty spots. As long as you're braced for the jolty spots, keeping your head forward, and you've got a nice loose restrainer and you know when the jolts are going to come up, then it is a lot more enjoyable. However, I would like to see it retracked at some point. It is a bit janky, and I'd like to see new trains put on there as well, with lap bars maybe, to eliminate the head banging on there. That would be good. But for now, I am starting to enjoy it a lot more. I'll probably have a lot more rides on it this year than I have been recently, because yeah, it is a classic ride here at Chessington. It opened in 1980, so yeah, it is an old one. However, it's still going strong here at the park. So now I'm going to go for a ride on the Gruffalo River Ride Adventure, advertised at a 15-minute queue. The Gruffalo River Ride Adventure is a really nice dark ride here at Chessington. Of course, it was rethemed in 2017 from Bubbleworks, which was a very iconic ride. I never got to ride it. My first visit here to Chessington was the opening year of Gruffalo, and I rode it a few months after it opened. Yeah, it's a really nice ride. There's some great scenes in there, some nice theming. The smell pods have clearly been topped up in there as well. And you go down this river and it tells you the whole story of the Gruffalo. I used to love reading the Gruffalo and watching the film when I was a kid, so it's really nice to go on that ride and kind of relive it. It's done to a really high standard. I do wonder though, of course, with it being 2025 now, it's only a couple years until it's going to be 10 years of the Gruffalo theme on there, and perhaps that's when the licensing to use the IP might run out. Normally after 10 years, that's when a lot of IPs will run out with their licensing, so I wonder if maybe we'll see it rethemed to Bubbleworks, because that was a much loved attraction here at the park. But for now it is here, and I do really enjoy it, but I'd love to see it get rethemed to Bubbleworks when the licensing does run out. So I've now arrived at the construction site for the new area opening in 2026. This is going to be a new junior area. So of course, a couple of years ago, Scorpion Express, which is just down there, the Mack Power Coaster, that did set on fire a couple of years ago, and since then it hasn't reopened. There always seem to be plans to reopen it. The park were always saying it's coming back, it'll be back in this time, and then it got delayed, and then it got delayed again and again and again, until eventually it got to the point where we all realised it wasn't coming back, and that has now been confirmed. A lot of Mexicana has been closed off to make way for this new area, and you can see the construction walls behind me. We don't know a lot about what's going to be replacing this part of Mexicana. However, there have been rumours of a Paw Patrol themed area, which will be interesting. In this area there's going to be a new junior roller coaster, which will be good. That's something that the park definitely need, considering that the least thrilling roller coaster here is probably Vampire, which is quite a step up coaster for some people. Like if you're coming here with young kids, there's not really anything that they're in terms of coasters that they're going to be able to go on. You've got a 1.1 height restriction for Vampire, so if you've got anyone under that, there's no coasters here that they can go on. So this is going to be something that the park much need. As well as that, there's going to be some flat rides in here. One of them is looking likely to be a rethemed Jungle Bus. So of course, Jungle Bus over in Wild Asia, that looks like it's going to be heading over to this area with a retheme, as well as a couple of new junior flat rides as well. So now let's go and take a look around the construction site. Right then, so I'm going to put the camera over the wall now to see if you can have a look. And here's a look at the map for 2025 as well. So as you can see, there is the new land coming in 2026. So this is right where we are now. There we go. We've got more to talk about there later. Something coming 2027 over in Wild Asia, so I'll head over there and talk about that later. So if you want to get some good views over towards the construction site of the new area, then you can go for a ride on Croc Drop, the SPF Visa family drop tower just here, which is going to be my next ride. So I've just come off Croc Drop, and as you may have seen with some of the off-ride footage there, it's not spinning again. So that wasn't great. Unfortunately, I didn't get a view into the construction site, because you get assigned a seat on there, and unfortunately for me, my assigned seat was facing pretty much the complete opposite direction of the construction site. So as there was no spinning going on, I barely got to see any of it. I was able to look around a bit and see where Scorpion Express used to be, and kind of around that area and some of the buildings, but I didn't get to see loads on there, which was unfortunate. However, maybe I'll go on again later and see if I can get a better view on there. I'm going to go for a ride on Zufari now, the kind of safari jeep ride here, which has had some upgrades for this year from what I've seen on social media. So let's go for a ride. So we've got a new entrance sign here for Zufari for this year. That looks good. Apparently there's some new theming in the queue line as well, and there's also been some changes into the cave section at the end. So let's go and see what it's like. Here we go, we've got lots of new photos up in here, loads of new theming. Look at this. This looks really nice. You can have your photo there as well with the green screen. I think, anyway. I'm sure they used to do that. Truck loading, here we go. Literally, it's a walk-on, pretty much.
By their pink plumage for spending time standing on one leg.
I can stand on one leg.
And did you know that flamingos are not born pink?
Yes, the colour comes from the dawn of strips and prawn. Cool, eh?
Here we go, look how close we are to this giraffe.
you should be close to seeing some giraffes.
Look at that.
Wow!
Or, to use their scientific name, camelopardalis.
They got no name because they look like a cross between.
There's more animals out there. You've got some zebras out there.
They can live up to 25 years.
Look at this.
Grow as tall as 6 meters. 18 feet.
That's as tall as a house.
You'll lose my phone. Their long legs help them run at speeds of up to 35 miles per hour.
Wow! That's as fast.
Pushing feature are their long, simple-shaped organs. They curve backwards and on average reach a length of 42 inches.
Wherever you get rhino, you also get a lot of rhino dung.
Rhino dung. What? Poo?
Yes, male rhinos mark out their territory with piles of their dung.
The white rhino is one of 2 rhino species found in Africa and the second largest.
Here we go into the cave. Look at all this.
We've been taking research samples from inside this magical place. Wow! We've never seen anything like it before.
So Safari was good fun there. It's one of my favourite rides here at the park. You see lots of different animals on there, and I like what they've done in the cave. It looks really nice. It kind of reminds me of the Navi River journey at Animal Kingdom at Walt Disney World. Kind of on that, it looks like they've definitely got inspiration from that. And rather than you going into the cave now and you stopping there and then all the water comes gushing out, kind of like what used to happen on Catastrophe Canyon on the tram tour ride at Disneyland Paris, but they've still got that scene on there. However, it's not as big and grand as it used to be. But it was a bit like that before in there, but now it's more like going into this magical cave where there's all these different plants growing and magical things and rock work, and yeah, it looks really nice in there. I'm going to go for a ride on Toon Blast now, the shooting dark ride here at the park, advertised at a 20-minute queue. So I've just come off Toon Blaster, which was pretty good. I'd love to see it refurbed a bit though, because a lot of the effects weren't working in there. Lots of targets that weren't working. The guns weren't great either. My gun kept like cutting out points. It's like it shows the red light for where you're aiming, but then it kept turning off and then coming back on again, so the gun wasn't working great on there. Yeah, everyone always raves about how good Terror Tomb used to be, because this is what this ride used to be. I'd love to see them kind of refurb this and modernise it into a new version of Terror Tomb, because I never got to ride it. So maybe they'll do that at some point, because the ride is in a bit of a state. I'm going to go for a ride on river rafts now, the small log flume they've got here. Not that one over there, that's Tiger Rock over there. I'm going to go on there next. Yeah, let's go for a ride on the small one here. Well, don't underestimate the River Rapids ride here at Chessington. I'm absolutely soaked after that. Literally, look at my hoodie just here. Hold on, look at my trousers here as well. Absolutely soaked. It might have a tiny little drop on there, but I am drenched. I was not expecting that. I know you get quite wet on like these mini log flumes. You often do get quite wet on them, but that was a soaker. I think I got way more wet than everyone else is getting as well. I'm sure not everyone else is coming off as wet as I have. I am soaked. So now I'm going to go for a ride on Tiger Rock, the big log flume. So I got absolutely soaked on Tiger Rock there, but it was a good fun ride. I do enjoy a good log flume at a theme park. That is a really good ride. It's looking a bit dirty around some parts around there. I've been saying that for the last couple of years, so hopefully they will go back to that ride and give it a bit of a clean up, especially the main tiger structure. Of course, you come down that second drop through the tiger's mouth. It is looking a bit dirty there, but it is a great ride. I can't believe how wet I got on there. Normally you don't get that wet on there, especially my shoes. My shoes got absolutely drenched on there as well. So yeah, that's going to be fun, walking around in wet shoes for the rest of the day now. But over here, I've pretty much done a full loop of the park now, and I'm back here at the entrance where I started. So now let's talk a bit about Wild Asia. So Wild Asia is currently closed at the moment, and it's going to be remaining closed. So in 2027 they're going to be opening a new land over here. Something is coming 2027. Not much is known about it, however it is heavily rumoured to be a Minecraft themed land. And of course this is going to include a brand new roller coaster in here. Mostly indoors, but it'll have an outdoor section as well. And it's looking likely to be an intimate multi-dimension coaster. Something like Uncharted at Portaventura, which will be really cool. Cobra's also going to be staying. You can see that standing just over there. That's going to be staying, however, it's going to be getting moved somewhere else in the area. And of course, Jungle Bus also in this area. Looks like it's going to be getting moved over to the new area in Mexicana, where that's going to be. So here we go. If we go and take a look over here, I don't know how much we're actually going to be able to see. I imagine not loads has happened with this area yet. Planning permission has only just been granted to redevelop this area. But yeah, Monkey Swing has been all packed down by the looks of it. There's been a lot of rumours about that getting sent to Alton Towers, so hopefully that'll be the case. And then of course Jungle Bus that is right there, you can't see it from here, but it is literally right behind this wall, is most likely going to be getting moved to the other end of the park. There we go, yeah, you can't see too much in there, but by 2027, hopefully, we're going to see a really fantastic Minecraft themed area here. I absolutely love Minecraft. I've played it ever since it was released, and I've grown up playing that game. So it's going to be nice to step into this area and kind of feel like you're experiencing it in real life. It's going to be really good. I can't wait for this area. So I've just had a ride on Blue Barnacle, which was really good fun. Done some other re-rides as well, went on Mandrill Mayhem and Dragon's Fury again. And if you come up the steps here to the sensory space, you can get a really good view into the construction site, where they're actually doing some work at the moment, as you can see with the digger. You've actually got some of the Hyperia branded Harris fencing over there as well that they used when they were building Hyperia, which is really interesting. So yeah, they're reusing that over here. So yeah, you can see Scorpion Express has been completely demolished, ready to make way for this new coaster. So I've just had my final ride of the day on Mandrill Mayhem. I've done it 3 times today, which has been good going. Yeah, it's been pretty quiet here today. Lots of rides. The weather's been great as well. It's been really nice and sunny. Yeah, got on loads of rides. I've done Dragon's Fury twice, Mandrill Mayhem 3 times, couple rides on Croc Drop. When I was on Croc Drop for my second ride as well, I got a much better view over the construction site as well, which looks fantastic. That is definitely the best place to view the construction. It's a shame you can't wear like GoPros on there that are secure, because then you could go and take videos up there. It's a shame that you can't go and get any photos up there of the construction site, because that's the best place to view it from. But yeah, it's been a good day here at Chessington. It's been nice to get back to the park and get on some rides. Obviously there's quite a few rides closed at the moment because of all of the new stuff coming. Of course, if you are coming, expect Wild Asia to be shut. Of course, you've got Mexicana, which isn't in the best state at the moment because of the construction. However, next year, once we get that new junior area, it's going to be much more complete around there. And then of course in 2027 they're going to be opening the Minecraft themed area, which I absolutely cannot wait for that new coaster as well. Indoor coaster that looks like it's going to be an intimate multi-dimension coaster. I can't wait to ride that and see the area as a whole. It certainly is going to be very exciting the next couple of years for this park. But that's now the end of this vlog here. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at George Kelly and follow me on Twitter at George Kelly. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe everyone, and I'll see you all later. Bye.